Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at another Phantom Menace item, however this one is a couple of years older than the recent Vintage Collection and Movie Heroes items that I've been reviewing for you. Instead we're going to take a look at a mail-away exclusive figure from the Legacy Collection that was released back in 2009, and it's this one, the Qui-Gon Jinn and Eopie set. Now this is not particularly the easiest collectible to track down. I believe that when this one was released over in the US, distribution was a little bit patchy. Some people received it, some people didn't, and here in the UK and I believe Canada, I don't even think we got a glimpse of this one. It was very difficult to track down, but luckily my good friend James Burns, who some of you may know better as the co-host of the Forcecast Collector's Edition podcast, and also as one of the staff members over at JediNews.co.uk, he was kind enough to send out one of these sets for me to review. So James, if you're watching, thank you very much, my friend, very much appreciated. So before we take a look at the figure and the creature that is included in this set, we are indeed going to take a look at the packaging in which they come. Since it's a mail-away exclusive, the box is very basic, there's no fancy packaging with this one. It's a little bit thicker than the normal mail-away boxes that we've seen for the previous Boba Fett figures, and as you'll see on the front we have the Star Wars logo and the product name. On the back you've got all the mumbo jumbo about Hasbro, a few websites there for you to visit if you're interested, but very basic packaging and not very exciting, although I'm sure if you received this through your mailbox back in 2009, then as soon as you saw this you were probably very excited. So there we go, that is the box. Onto the set itself. This is predominantly a repacked product. Qui-Gon Jinn is from the 30th Anniversary Collection Jedi Evolution set with a new poncho. And the Eopie is a straight repaint of the Eopie set that was released in 1999, which also was quite a difficult piece to track down as well. I've seen that thing go for ridiculous money on eBay. So I'll talk about the Eopie first. As I said, it is a repaint, and this time around it's been given a much more sort of tanned deco rather than a very washed out pale look that the original had. There's no removable parts with this one. All the satchels and bags, all that kind of stuff that you see there, they're all attached to the figure, they're all moulded to it. There's not a hell of a lot of articulation either. There's 4 points of articulation in the legs, as each one has a swivel hip, and there's also a swivel neck as well, which allows the figure to look side to side. Other than that, there really isn't much else to say about it. It's a very nice display piece though, and I was surprised at how heavy this thing actually is. Very sturdy, very solid piece, and stands up great and looks fantastic in a display. And I do believe that these are the same creatures that fart in the face of Jar Jar Binks during the Phantom Menace, which is always good. The Qui-Gon figure, as I said, is the repacked version. Whoops, nearly dropped it. Is a repack from the 30th Anniversary Collection Jedi Evolution set, but obviously you'll recognise this figure from the Vintage Collection and Movie Heroes as well. Same figure for the most part, with a few minor differences. The head sculpt is exactly the same but has been painted ever so differently, and in my opinion, if I just zoom in on it to give you a better look without all the shadow, in my opinion this actually looks a hell of a lot more like Liam Neeson, the actor who played him. Really does capture his likeness a lot more in my opinion, and it looks great. Some of the grey highlights in the hair that are apparent on the Movie Heroes version of Qui-Gon that I reviewed for you aren't quite as prominent on this figure. They don't stand out as much, which I actually like. Makes him look a lot more like he did in the film. As I said, the poncho is a new piece, I believe, and it's made of a very thick woolen material. It doesn't flow particularly well. You kind of have to trap some of the creases and folds under the arm to make it look a bit more natural. And the lightsaber that is included is obviously the same one from the Phantom Menace line from years gone by. Obviously the Eopie itself has a set of reins that Qui-Gon can hold on to. And as you'll see on Qui-Gon's boots, Hasbro have given him a slight bit of Tatooine weathering to make it look like he's been trekking through the sands, which is very, very good, and a nice bit of attention to detail. In terms of articulation, just zoom back out, Qui-Gon Jinn has a ball hinge neck, ball hinge shoulders, elbows, swivel wrists and a ball jointed torso, swivel hips, ball hinge knees and ankles. And if you want a more in-depth look at how Qui-Gon looks under the poncho, then do check out my Movie Heroes figure review on this guy. You'll get a good look at him. So there he is, that's Qui-Gon Jinn and the Eopie from the Legacy Collection. Once again, a big thanks goes out to James Burns over at JediNews.co.uk, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. Until my next one, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be back with an episode 1 creature set once again next, so stay tuned for that. Until then, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.